Hi folks, Jay from All About Photography. Today in Lightroom I'm going to teach you about how to understand the hue, saturation and luminance panel in the tool panel in Lightroom on the right hand side there. Now underneath the basic tools and the histogram at the top we have tone curve, and we have the part where you can start to play with the colours in your photographs. Now the first one is HSL, which is hue, saturation and luminance, and then color and black and white. If we pick black and white and click on that, our color photo turns into black and white. Now it is still a color photo, which means that anything that was red, say if this red slider here, if I slid that, I can adjust any of these little M&Ms that were red. I can still play with the colors that are in them. So it's a good idea if you're ever going to take a black and white photo, is to take the photo in color, load it into Lightroom, turn it into a black and white in Lightroom, and then you can still adjust all the colors, all the tones you can adjust in your photograph. If you took it just as a black and white in camera and load it into Lightroom, there's very little you can adjust. You can adjust, the light and shade and things like that, but you can't adjust colors because there is none. So a good idea if you're going to play with black and white photographs is to take them in color and turn them into black and white in Lightroom, and then you can manipulate every part of the photograph in ways you can't imagine. But what I'm going to go into here is this hue, saturation and luminance part of there. I'm just going to explain what all these sliders are and what they do. Now we'll start with hue, the first one there. So what you see down here is basically all the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, aqua blue, purple and magenta. Each one of those sliders, like red for example, if you slide that left, what that left is going to do is slide down here and it'll come to this point, the last point. Imagine these are all connected in a line, like from across there, down here, across, so that when you slide that left, we're actually turning the red color into the same as the high end of magenta. And similarly, underneath red is orange. So if we slide this all the way to the end there, you'll notice that the red M&Ms turn orange. I'll just reset that one back. The one to watch is these blue ones. So, right, so we have blue here. Above it is aqua and below it is purple. So if we slide to the right, the blue ones will turn purple. If we slide it to the left, they turn aqua. So that's what hue does. It basically is adjusting the color, sliding it left or right to match the next color in the rainbow that's either side of the color that you're using. So you can adjust, if you don't like blue M&Ms, you can make them aqua, whatever you like. So good thing to just change the colors in your photograph. Right, the next one is saturation. Now this, right, is how strong the colors are in your photograph. So red M&Ms, if I slide that back, they'll lose all their color saturation. They start to wash out. Or if I slide it all the way up, they go very, very strong colors. So a good one to look at here again is the blue. If I slide that left, they lose all color. So they're turning in basically into a black and white picture of grayscale because there's no color saturation. The higher you slide it then, the stronger the blue becomes, deeper and richer. Right, so that's how a saturation slider works. Now, of course, if you slide all of these to the left, it will turn the photograph into a black and white photograph because it will lose all color saturation. So there we go. That's basically how a black and white photograph comes, and then you can still adjust all the colors. And if you've ever seen those photos like that, black and white, where only one color is picked out, that's how you do it. We won't want to look at the red, probably bring up the orange ones as well, but it'll leave all the others black and white. So there's red in the brown, and there's red in the orange, and there's red in the red, of course. So they all come out. Yellow, there's probably only yellow ones. There we go. So that makes everything else black and white. We've got a few reflections and things happening there, but you get the idea. The blue ones, bring the blue ones up, make them as deeply saturated as we want. And I'll just reset those. So I'll just double clicking on each of the words, and that recenters them back to 0. Right, the next one is luminance. Now what luminance does is basically a brightness slider for the colors. So we'll stick with that blue because that's a pretty good match for the blue. If I slide that to the left, we're going to go into the dark shades of blue, and if we slide it to the right, we're going to go into the lighter shades of blue. So similarly, yellow, darker yellow, oh, it's turning to gold even, and then bright yellow. So that's a brightness slider for your colors. So that's basically hue, saturation, luminance. What I might just quickly do is go back into saturation. You'll see this little circle up here. If you click on that, it brings up a little tool. Now what you can do with that is, so those blue ones, if I wanted to change the color saturation of the blue ones, I could click on the blue and slide, it'll disappear. But what I'm going to do is click on it and slide it upwards, and you'll see that it does the same effect as just grabbing the slider and sliding it up. You'll see going up to 100 there. Or I can slide it downwards and change that color saturation of just that particular color. Now this is great for shades that are not exactly, you know, they might be a combination of, like orange for example. You'll see when I do that, it slides both the red and the orange slider. So if you have any particular shade of a color, by picking this, instead of going, I'll just reset those, instead of going, oh gee, those orange ones, I'll just slide orange, and that's only going to adjust there. It's not going to take the red out of it because it's not a true shade of orange. Basically, I need to then, to be able to do it, I'd have to work out which 2 or 3 combinations of colors make up a color to be able to adjust it. But with this tool, it's like a picker tool. I can pick on that, go back on it, pick on that and go, right, that orange there I want to adjust. So I can slide them up and down, and it'll adjust just those. Now I'll reset that again. Now, like brown, for example, brown is a combination of colors. So instead of trying to go, oh gee, I think it's red and orange, you can click on that and slide and go, all right. So you can see that the orange slider is sliding much higher than the red slider, so it's got more orange in it than red, and I can slide it back. It's not only just adjusting the brown ones, it's adjusting the orange ones and the red ones as well, because they share those colors. So there's a quick look for you at hue, saturation and luminance sliders, black and white, and in the middle here we have color. So if you want to work on just one particular color in your photograph, say blue, that'll just get rid of all the other colors. So we have our hue slider, our saturation slider and our luminance slider for blue only. Let's put that back on 0. So that we can just work on the blue color. So depending on what you're working on, if you only want to make fine adjustments to the blue color rather than having all the color sliders there and have to flick between hue, saturation and luminance, they're all combined there together. So you know, we can adjust the hue of the, so we can slide it towards the magenta slider, so turn them into a magenta color. We can also make that, you know, richer, deeper or washed out with the saturation slider. And again, we can make it a brighter color or a darker color. So that's our 3 sliders. I can double click on the blue writing there and it'll reset. I'll just do that again for you. So if I had my sliders set here and I want to reset them, one of them or all of them, if one of them I'd double click on that, or all of them I'd click on the blue, double click, bang, resets them all back to 0. Alright, so there is the color adjustment part of Lightroom. I hope you learnt something there, and I'll be back next week with something else to show you in Lightroom. So don't forget to please like and subscribe to our channel, and look up all about photography life on Instagram and follow us on there.